This is day 3. I'm Adam Chad Cowman, painter of cows and bovines in general. For the last year, I've been painting cows as a hobby, sort of cartoonesque, and I've learned I really enjoy cows. This is a sort of watercolor ink drawing that I did. This is more of a private type of deal. It's just a lot of these lines, they're not necessarily aimed at making a work of art, but just, I guess, sort of a therapy type thing. Helps me with stress, just to sit and make line after line. But what's happened is I've learned that I really enjoy cows. I like looking at them. I like their temperament. There's another painting I'm working on. And so what I want to do is take all of this to a new level. And the best way that I know how to do that, I want to go back to basics and practice form, line, composition, things like that. So I'm just starting in the most simple way I can, drawing circles. I know that the cow is comprised of 2 circles, and for the body, a circle for the head, shaped like this, ears up here. The legs get a little bit tricky, at least for me. They seem to follow along this shape. But what I learned to do when I first started drawing from a teacher is to do practice basic skills on a daily basis, to develop hand coordination. And a lot of what I want to do to get to the next level of painting cows is learn to see differently. Ultimately, I want to capture the personality of the cow. For me, a cow there's a spiritual dimension to a cow. In fact, they remind me a lot of my cat. My cat is right here, Mr. Kuvo, and he's a real gentle guy. And ultimately, I want to get there, but to get there, I have to work every day. And so I'm just going to do some warm-ups, drawing a circle. Draw circles. This is called ghosting. When I go like this, I can actually start to see a circle before I draw it. That's a very unique skill I don't know if I have it, but a lot of teachers have told me that they've had students who can see it before they draw it. I'm not like that. But already you can see that just a little bit of practice and my circles are improving. Bam, bam, bam. Make some lines there. There's a ghost. Circle, circle. I've had a lifelong fascination with drawing. When I was a kid, I'd look at books of drawings by Leonardo da Vinci, and they just amazed me. He did a lot of hatching and cross-hatching. See, I got away from the ghosting. Look at these 2 circles. I forgot to ghost. This is a ghosted circle. Okay, now I'm going to ghost. Makes a lot of difference. I don't know if you're able to see it. Now I'm going to draw a shape like this, and then draw spheres that are slowly rotating like that. Another exercise is drawing boxes. Make it parallel there, make a line parallel there, line parallel. All of these basic shapes, the sphere and the box and the cylinder, they can all be employed when drawing a cow or when drawing anything. A good example of using a box is a chair. Once you get the basic shape down like that, then you can go in and work on the details. They're a basic chair made out of a box. Another warm-up exercise is marks, making marks, cross-hatching. Practice these. I try to come up with creative ways to do it. Dots. Water. My favorite warm-up exercise is practicing composition with the good old-fashioned coffee cup. Oh, that didn't work out. Coffee cup. Once I've gotten warmed up a bit, then I can start to work on a cow. One of the tricks of composition, of course, is the law of thirds, dividing the paper, the surface, into thirds, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so that you end up with an area like this, and then there's what's called the focal point. You can put it here, the focal point here, there, or there. And then one thing I try to do, I try and make all the lines in the composition go towards the focal point. All the lines, shapes, colors. I tend to complicate things and get busy in these other areas. And I'm trying to improve in that area. So what I'm going to do, a lot of times, I've looked at a lot of famous paintings, and almost without fail, it's uncanny. The artist will create a focal point in one of these areas, and it has high contrast. The highest contrast is in the focal point, and there's usually, most often, there's the color of red. Red, white, and black involved in that focal point. So I'm going to do a basic composition of a cow right here, and then all the shapes and the colors will lead to the cow. So here we go. Put that on there. This is underneath. I've got the basic thing. Oops. Change that to black. With this, I can hold it down and create a perfect circle. Yeah, I don't like that one. There. Nah, I don't like that one either. I'll just... Now here, this is the area of the focal point. So I'm going to put the basic shape of a cow head in there. The eyes there, eyes, ears, horns. And leg, put another leg in there, put the cow tail. Right now you can tell I'm not really shooting for perfection. I'm just practicing the basics. Line, shape. Probably worked on that too much. It's better to get the entire composition. Now I'm going to put some shadow there. I did this basic compositional idea yesterday, and I'm going to keep working on it. I've got to have all these lines. This entire shadow area has to be shut down. Somewhere in there, there's an opening. There. Put a little bush over here as sort of a balance. Now I no longer need that underlying map. Okay, right now I'm going to put some red. Put some red in there. So there's red and there's white. And for this composition, I want everything to lead to this. So I can make some clouds like this. Cloud shapes. Forgot to close this off. There. Not bad. Put another shade of gray there. There, what we have here is a basic composition. Like I say, it's not any great work of art, by no means. But the interesting thing is, when I follow some basic composition rules, see, when I make a line like this, I want every line to lead toward that focal point. I used to look at paintings, and I would see these great lines, and I'd wonder how do they know to make a line that goes that way, or a brush stroke. I think I understand now. It all serves the focal point. Now I can start to subtract some things. Even these spots here, even the cow spots, the famous cow spots, see, I can direct those shapes, make them into shapes that point toward the focal point. So even though technically I'm drawing a cow, yes, it is a cow, but it's really just a collection of shapes and lines and values. Most of the detail I want to be right here. I can even now, actually, I like this. I like it not because it's something wonderful that I did on my own. I like it because it follows the principles of art, the fundamentals, the composition, and to me, it's interesting. I can lighten up the sky, create some contrast, but then again, I don't know if that's the best idea. But we'll give it a try. I've got to make sure this is all blocked off. Practicing these basic rules of composition helped me a lot to understand abstract art. I never understood abstraction, but When I look at abstract art, it follows these same principles. This doesn't have to be a cow. It can be a shape, brush strokes that just express a mood. And most abstracts that I see, the good ones, they have a focal point. One of my problems, or one thing that I want to get better at, is knowing when to quit. I could keep working on this, and frankly, I could probably make it worse. I think it's okay now. I'm enjoying looking at it. I'm not saying it's a masterpiece, but it's fun. It's enjoyable. So with that, today will end. Once again, I'm Adam Chad Kalman, painter of cows and bovines in general. That's me. That's my subject, the cow. Thanks for joining me. This is the end of day 3. Hope to see you tomorrow.